gold price has been plummeted for the last 2 days. And also silver and Bitcoin, the company with all this head stock, the company with all this tech stock as well. So what happened and why? And what to look for next? And finally, what you can do to maximize your profit, take advantage of the situation. Welcome, I'm Chris. In the end of this video, you'll find the answer to this question. Let's talk about gold first. Gold has been rising quite aggressively in the last several months due to the increasing fear of inflation and due to the risk of inflation and due to the fear of inflation and deteriorating geopolitical risk. Also, the uncertainty new Fed chairman, as President Trump constantly talking about want to cut the interest rate, want easy monetary policy, and unsatisfied with Jeremy Powell. That's the fundamental reason why gold price has been rising this much. Also, but turn out the new federal chairman is kind of quite hawkish recently. This is the trigger of this situation right now. But also there are technical reasons, because so many people at this point are believing gold price is going to continue going higher, believing that dollar going to go down the drain, become toilet paper. But the overwhelming optimism really pushed the gold price very aggressively going higher to a certain point that all these people are optimistic about gold, already holding gold. Suddenly there's no more buyers because all the people are not buying gold, are not going to do. Okay, that's the classic peak structure of the market. As you can see, if you go into the more nuanced structure of the market, you can see it's a clear structure. At a certain point, there's suddenly no buyers. And someone turned to be suspicious about the situation, may want to sell their gold. And suddenly, they can't find buyers. That's why you see this fluctuation like crazy. And that move really detrimental to the market confidence, accompanied with the hawkish view from new Federal Chairman Walsh. That's triggered the gold price collapse. Okay, this is quite detrimental for the market confidence. Why is that? Because for quite a while, market believed the new Federal Chairman gonna cut interest rate regardlessly and relentlessly, and the expectation was very high. And this is quite surprising for the market. Also, it could trigger the liquidity problem overall to the market, which resulted in silver and also Bitcoin. But Bitcoin is a different story. Let's talk about it later. But silver is a different story because silver's market cap is much smaller than gold. Also, its volatility is much higher. As you can see, when gold price is rising from 3,000 all the way to 5,000, silver, however, rising from $37 all the way to 100. Silver, however, rising from $37 all the way to $120, almost tenfold increase, which is quite aggressive. As the gold market collapsed, silver collapsed even further. So, as the market structure behaves like this, the most likely scenario is they're going to find a very strong support at this level, and they're going to facing aggressive rebound. Okay. That's the key point. Facing rebound is just normal structure after this collapse. So you do not panic because it's a drastic move. You wait for a rebound and get out. That's the basic strategy. So why is that? And so why gold gonna? So is gold going to continue going up further? It's highly line. So is gold price going to continue to go higher after this rebound? No, it's not, because this drop is very detrimental to market confidence. Just like Bitcoin, in October 10th, that was the Bitcoin collapse. Okay, after that, Bitcoin, even though with all these fundamental factors support the Bitcoin price, Bitcoin did not rise and constantly going down and consolidating quite well in this region. So after this collapse, market is going to be quite fearful of the gold price, and a lot of people really go bust at this point. Okay. So that's going to be detrimental to the market confidence. The confidence and the trend is very important for the market. This is why gold price cannot easily go up again, even with very powerful rebound. Okay, some people are just going to miss this, but you should prepare for that. Now, silver is the same story. It's just very dangerous to play at this level, but you can see how aggressive it is. This is the further implication for the market is there could be a liquidity problem overall. That's why you see all these risk assets start going down, including Bitcoin, all these hot tech stocks. Okay, as I mentioned earlier in my live stream, Tech sector is really in bubble, especially in AI sector. I mentioned constantly about the revenue gap in AI sector. There is about $400 to $500 billion. There are about $400 to $500 billion. There are about $400 billion revenue gap in AI industry, and we have no solution to fill that gap. Okay, market, all the smart investors are perfectly aware of that. Let's move into Bitcoin. As I said, Bitcoin has been detrimental. The Bitcoin collapse at October 10th is quite detrimental to market confidence back then. That's the fundamental reason why Bitcoin has been going down for the past several months. Okay, you're gonna see gold gonna behaving similarly in the past. You're gonna see gold gonna behaving similarly in the next several months. And potential with housing market continue going down, with housing market declining and AI bubble burst, we're gonna facing a bear market in stock. Also, we just don't know how it's gonna evolve. But for now, you don't panic. There's always rebound at this point. Okay, so take advantage of the rebound. As a value investor, it's time to get out. Okay, the message is very clear. It's time to get out. Also, for Bitcoin, it's a little bit difficult because Bitcoin have a historically 4-year cycle. Now we're facing 4th year. Okay, in the last several years, you can see Bitcoin has been rising quite aggressively from 20K all the way to 12K, from 20K all the way to 120K. Okay, it's a very aggressive rise in the last several months. It's a very aggressive rise in the last several years. And 4-year cycle is coming 2026. In addition, with the risk factor I just told you about, housing market is not in good shape. And historically, when housing market is not doing well, there are always problems in the financial market. And we're facing potential uncertainty in new Fed chairman. Even though the watch could not be that hawkish that it appears, but still, at least it's signaled this way, that something should be worried. For Bitcoin, you cannot say it's going to rebound quite. As for Bitcoin, you cannot say it's going to rebound very easily because they're just breaking down this very important region. They've been consolidating and oscillating in this region for past several months, past 2 months, I think. Once they break this region, as I said in my last live stream, this is a very critical point. Okay, at this point, there's basically no way back. Now we're facing a very strong support, but even though this is a support, I don't think Bitcoin is going to rebound very easily because the trend already forming. The downward trend is going to be very powerful to dictate Bitcoin's price for the future months to come. Also, let's talk about stock price. As you can see that the AI sector and all this tech stock have been going down quite aggressively, following up with the liquidity problem coming from gold price collapse. Okay, this situation, this story, this theme could continue very easily, as I mentioned about the AI bubble constantly. So, as a value investor, it's a good time to leave the market right now. That's it. Take care.